Go ahead, guys. Do you expect all your starters to play in all the preseason games, or how are you going to kind of manage workload preseason?
No, not in all of them. Especially the first two with the 2 and 3 nights. Similar to what we did last year. I think we'll pick a game for half the guys, pick a game for half the guys. Do some work in between. Figure out about the last two, New Orleans or Atlanta, especially winding down. So, but for the first two, they won't play in every game.
What are the main principles of the offense that you want to instill?
More pace. We want to double down on some of the things we did really well. Obviously, rebounding was big for us, but our shooting numbers in general have to improve. Paint scoring, we get there quite frequently and haven't shot the best percentage at the rim. More corner threes, we want to have more corner threes, especially with Alfie and Kevin and guys like that. They get doubled a lot, and then free throws got to go up. The last free throw percentage last year.
Coach, it's been 3 days. How have you seen the impact of Kevin as a leader on the court with his age?
I think the intensity of the whole gym goes up. Just the player of his caliber here, and he's obviously going to have to take on more of a leadership role with Alfred here and some of the voice there, but he does it both ways. Not just talking to guys, and obviously the work ethic as we've all talked about. But just the impact of him being there, I think it elevates the level of the group.
What's different? What's different about Reed right now, and have you seen him and Kevin have any meaningful interactions, relationships, anything like that?
Yeah, I mentioned his confidence is up. He's really put in a ton of work this offseason. He understands the opportunity he has, so he's much more aggressive, looking for a shot and then taking a challenge on defensive end. They've been playing quite a bit together, and the great thing about Kevin or Alfie or whoever it is that Reed doesn't have to be on the ball the whole time. He can be the recipient, and those guys draw so much attention, and obviously his shooting ability is going to be needed.
But at the end of the playoffs last week, Alfie said that he felt like he didn't have a really good year. Can you see the ownership and accountability that he took in the offseason through this 3 days?
Yeah, and obviously you make an all-star game, and we get where we get. It's largely due to him, and so yeah, to us obviously had a really good year. And, I think he was one vote away from being all NBA, and so everybody else recognized he did. I think some of the shooting numbers is probably what he was talking about the most. He had some down months as far as percentages around the basket and normal shots he would make, so he's probably looking at that. But he obviously had a really good summer and has worked extremely hard to obviously come back and have a big season. But you saw that carry over into Eurobasket, obviously, and for him, it's just continuing to grow, take another step, and make All NBA, be a perennial All-Star, and not just a guy on the fringe.
Have you been encouraged by the way that your team has worked and kind of started to mesh together through this first week?
Yeah, I've been impressed with our guys since I got here. I think from day one, we always said we have a group of grinders and guys that work extremely hard. We are conscious of ramping guys up the right way in the preseason, but our guys are in really good shape and want to continue to play and want to play more than we are doing at times. And so they understand getting out there and playing, especially with some new guys out there, is going to take a little bit of time, but they're trying to expedite that process by getting a lot of run in. And so we're happy with where they're at.
Steven has looked great. What stood out to you about Steven Adams so far?
I mean, the night day from last year was from a health standpoint, and so he's just having more than what he did all year for us. And, we talked about Dylan and Fred and the vets, Jeff, and those guys that we brought in initially. I think Steven was a huge piece for us in the IQ department when he got here. So constantly teaching guys, talking to guys, trying to help them get shots and understanding angles and screening and all those things. And so he's just really showing more. He got his legs, obviously, 90 days from last year, like I said, and he can play much longer stretches and practice stretches. So you're seeing the impact that they want.
Do you foresee significant on-ball point guard rotations for Reed, or do you want him more as an off-ball kind of grabber?
No, he'll definitely be handling.
Over the offseason, I know you and some of the players participated in some boxing workouts. What did you like about participating in some of those, and how are your hands?
I think it's, like I said, it breaks up the monotony of just being in the gym all the time. And some of the pounding, and so it's obviously if you box or done boxing workouts, you understand how strenuous they are and a different way to condition. And so I think it's a great way to get a workout, but also mentality as well. I guess you got to be aggressive to love boxing or want to box or whatever. And so it's good for our young guys who probably a lot of them haven't done it. You can see that they haven't done it when they get out there for the first time, and they understand how hard it is to push the thing. So it's something we've implemented into our off-season workouts. And I'm all right. I used to be better, but I'll try to get back there.
Of course, a lot has been made about who's going to be starting the beginning of the season, but with the depth you have at the front court and with Fred injury, the situation can be more fluid and it's going to be based more on matchups than like a consistent starting lineup.
It could be something we looked at regardless of before Fred was if it was something that made sense for us, but at the same time, continuity is good and keeping guys confident and not second guessing. Take some maturity if you want to do that, kind of rotational lineup. And, some things are beneficial to start that way. But at the same time, guys have taken some steps and showed a lot of progress and worked extremely hard. So you want to reward that. And we'll see what we get to. But for the most part, we got 4 guys, I would say, penciled in, and we'll figure out what to do with the 5th.